Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to review a couple of areas that we get a lot of questions about. So we're going to be reviewing the ebook, using multiple tabs in the class, sim chart, late assignments, workbooks, assignments, career edge, and discussion questions. My name is Cynthia Bennett, and I will be your facilitator for this session. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And so I'm going to actually be sharing my screen so that you'll be able to see the areas that I'll be discussing. So most of you guys should have went through a little orientation with the college already. So this is just going to be an overview and then some things that are specific to the class. So first thing we're going to talk about is the ebook. So I'm actually going to go into a class and review it. An ebook and kind of show you around. So when you first log into the class, there is actually a Zoom that is in here as well. So under instructor communication, you'll see this Zoom meeting link. I did not use that this time because if you do not set up your Zoom account with the college, it won't let you in. So I didn't want you guys to have to go through all of that this time. So I just gave you a link to another Zoom. But when we're doing a Zoom link going forward, it will be through this Zoom link here in the class. So all of our classes are set up the same. So it'll be under instructor communication and you'll see where it says Zoom link. You guys should have already done the course syllabus and any of your classes, even going forward, you have to complete the course syllabus before it will allow you access to any of the assignments in week 1. So that's going forward, even after this class, any class that you start, you have to complete the course syllabus before it will unlock. So I was coming over to talk about the ebook. So all of our books are going to be ebooks. So once you come in, you'll log in and you'll come right here where it says Red Shelf. You'll click on Red Shelf. And it will bring up all of the books for your entire program. I recommend that even though you get an ebook for your CPT book, your ICD-10, and your HICS picks, I recommend that you purchase a hard copy of these books. These are your coding manuals. They look exactly the same, but the actual coding manuals are easier to use when you have them as a physical copy. It's just a recommendation. You don't have to actually get it. I recommend that you get it from like Amazon, where you can buy the bundle. It'll give you all 3 of your coding manuals. Also, any certification that you take, you're going to need coding manuals, and most of them will not allow you to use an ebook. So you will have to get them eventually. So just kind of letting you know down the road, kind of plan to get those books. So when you have your assignment, you'll get the name of the book that we'll be using. So I'm just going to use an example is the Foreign Needs Medical Insurance book. Make sure that when you are going to the book that you're going to the actual textbook, because you'll notice this is the textbook. Here's the workbook. So they look exactly the same. So there's a textbook that you're going to read from, and then there's a workbook. So your assignments, most of them will come out of the workbook. So just pay attention, make sure you're going to the workbook and not the textbook. So just depending on the assignment. So a couple of our books do have a regular textbook and then a workbook. So you'll find that with the step-by-step book, that has a workbook, and then you'll have an actual textbook, which is down here. So just be mindful of that. So I'm going to go into the actual ebook. Just click read now. Okay, so once you get to your ebook, it'll it actually went to the last page that I was at. So it will pick up from there, but this is the actual ebook. I suggest you come out, you spend time with it. There are some additional resources that come with it. If you set up a student account on Evolve, and you'll have to set up an Evolve account anyway, and you'll get access to additional resources that's related to the book. So once you have your book open on the side here, if you click on the little arrow, you will see the chapter. So this is chapter 1, 2, 3, and then under unit 2, you'll have chapters 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then so on and so forth. So you just have to click on the caret on the side and it will open up the additional chapters that are there. So one thing that I do like about the ebooks is you have a search feature here. So after you have read your chapter, so for example, let's say if we had the assignment from chapter 1, and that was to read chapter 1, you'll read through the chapter and you just scroll down and it will take you through the entire chapter. Now, you don't have to do the assignments. They're not actually required, only the ones that are required for your homework. But I do recommend that you do some of the little quick reviews that's in the middle of the chapter so that you can make sure that you are, obtaining the information and that it's correct. There's also a search feature, so you can always come to the search feature on the side, and let's say you're looking for something that's related to careers. You just type the word in and it will look through the book, and everywhere where it sees something about careers, it's going to stop. So you'll just click on it, and so you see that it took you right here. I'll use another one like CPT coding. So you'll see it'll pick up everywhere in the book where it talks about CPT coding, and it'll also let you know where it's located. So for example, right here saying 2 results are found in chapter 14. So if you know you're not looking for an answer in chapter 14, you know that's not where you want to go. So that's one of the nice features that I like about the search. So come out, use the ebook, play around with it, and you'll become and get more comfortable with using it. All the ebooks are set up the same. Most of them will be located on your red shelf. You can make flashcards. So you just read right here and it'll show you how to create them so that you can be able to study. I haven't made any. You can print it, you can do offline. It'll do text to speech. So it'll read things to you. So again, just come out and play around with it, and then you'll get more comfortable with the different options that's available with the ebook. Okay, so that's all I'm going to go through with as far as the ebook. Just want to show you where it was located and how to use it. The next thing is I have here opening up multiple tabs. When you are doing assignments, certain assignments where you're like going into another program, try not to have multiple tabs open because it may not save your work. So you'll have to redo it. So the computer gets confused and it doesn't know when you have multiple tabs to update the gradebook. So it won't record in the gradebook. So you'll have to redo it. So like, for example, I'm just going to click on this one. And if you notice that it popped open in another screen, So make sure your pop-up blocker is turned off. If your pop-up blocker is not turned off, it will not open. So if you notice, I started here and it popped open 2 additional screens. So if you have a pop-up blocker on, it will not open. So make sure that it's turned off or you won't be able to access your assignments. I recommend that you use Google Chrome. The Classroom does work in other browsers, but Google Chrome is known to work best. If you're still having issues, then try a different browser such as Firefox or Microsoft Edge. But Chrome is the preferred one. You had the least amount of issues that I've encountered. So I recommend that you use Google Chrome. So for this assignment, you notice that it popped open and it's in Evolve. Make sure that you set up your Evolve account. So when you come into the class, you'll be on this home screen here. Here's information about how to register for your Elsevier Evolve account, which has SimChart and it has some of your assignments in. So you're going to have to set up an Evolve account. Here is a video also that will tell you about setting up your Evolve account. So make sure you have your account set up and your pop-up blocker turned off. Here's some other information about computer maintenance. Sometimes if things won't open, you might want to clear your cookies and your cache because that will stop things from opening. So just make sure that if you have any issues, the first thing you do is you want to clear your cookies and your cache to make sure that's not the issue and that you'll be able to access things. So once you set up your Evolve account, like I said, that will give you access to your Evolve assignments and SimChart. The other thing that you want to set up is your Career Edge. So if you click here on Career Edge, and you'll notice everything starts on that home screen. So you'll start there and then you'll work your way to where you need to go as far as setting up things. So once you click on Career Edge, it's going to give you a little video that's going to talk about Career Edge. So take a look at it. I think it's only a couple minutes long. It's not long at all. So you'll look at the video and then you'll set up your Career Edge account and you'll be able to access your assignment. Also over here on the side, you'll see, so the video is here. You'll see how to register and then you'll see all of these modules. So if this is your first class, you're in module 1. If this is your second class, you're in module 2. So let's just say this is your first class, you click on module 1, and each week you'll have an assignment to do inside of Career Edge. So if you're in week 1, you're going to complete everything that's under unit 1. For week 2, everything that's under unit 2. For week 3, everything that's under unit 3. And week 4, everything that's under week 4. So once you're done, you're going to print out and save. You won't actually print it, but you'll save it as a PDF, and then you'll upload it into SOAR in the submission box so that way you can get credit for completing your Career Edge. Normally, the Career Edge is going to be due near the end of the week. So every week you'll have at least, one assignment from out of here. As you can see, every week there's something. So again, if you're in class, this is your second class, you'll go to module 2, and then the assignments are here by the week. So you'll have week 1, 2, 3, 4. So the career edge is pretty straightforward. It's just a matter of getting your account set up, and then it'll walk you through. It's basically to prepare you for your new career. Okay, so let me go back and see what else we were supposed to cover. We did the ebook, multiple tabs, SIM chart, late assignments. Now, I know there was an email saying that all your assignments are due on Friday. Don't wait till Friday. You're not going to have enough time to do everything. So you want to kind of plan out when you're going to do your assignments. So just like if you were going on campus, let's say Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 9, you might want to plan out, when you're going to do your assignments. Because if you don't plan it out, you're going to become overwhelmed with the assignments that you need to do. So plan accordingly. I will take your assignments up until Saturday night to give you an extra day. So don't wait until Friday to try and do the assignments. It's going to be too much, because if you look at what you have to do for the week, unless you're just going to sit and just do everything, it's going to take you hours to do all these assignments. So they have it set up by days. But your initial post and your discussion is always going to be due on Tuesday, so that you can get your 3 days in. So you need to do an initial post and then 2 follow-up posts. But your initial post is always going to be due on Tuesday. So you see here, there's a workbook assignment. You have these assignments here for some additional labs. So as you see, if you try to do all of this on Friday, you're setting yourself up for failure. And you're not going to be able to retain the information if you're just cramming it all on Friday. It's just going to be impossible. So make sure that you're planning and spreading out your work. Your next week, for example, for week 2, on Friday, week 2 will open. So you'll be able to see what you need to do for week 2. For your workbook assignments, you should be completing them in Microsoft Word, or you can put them into the text entry box. So once you go to submit an assignment, a box will appear, and then you can type your answers in that text entry box. I will accept it if you type it in the text entry box. If I can't open it, I'm not going to be able to grade it. So make sure that you work on, if you need, to get Microsoft Word or any other type of text entry, I will accept it. I will not accept assignments that are handwritten on a piece of paper where you're writing the answers down, because it's difficult for me to read those. And sometimes I will have to download each individual one, and it gets very complicated. So make sure that if you have any workbook assignments, that you plan to type them up in the text entry box, or like attaching as a Word document. We talked about the career edge already. And for your discussion question, so I'm just gonna, this may not be your particular class, but I'm just gonna go into this one. So make sure that your initial post has at least 150 words. Make sure you have that. If you don't, you won't get full credit. So make sure that you have at least 150 words. When you do your follow-up post, don't just say, I agree. That's not sufficient. You need to explain why you agree. Or usually each week, I'll put the initial post in. Most of the time it's a video or something. And I do this so that you can at least get your one of your initial posts in, automatically you're not waiting for other students. So that's why a lot of times I'll do an initial post, and then you can let me know what your thoughts are, or any comments, so that you can at least have at least 2 of your posts done and out the way once you log in. Try and make sure you do all 3 posts, because you will not receive full credit. So make sure that you submit all of your posts. So your initial post should be 150 words, and then your 2 follow-up posts. Okay, so let's see what else I had on the agenda. Keep looking on the thing. I recommend that you use a laptop or a desktop. And the reason why is some of those assignments that pop up in the other screen, they use cookies. And if you're using a mobile device, sometimes it will not always work. So make sure you have access to a desktop or a laptop. If you don't have one, I recommend that you go to the library, friend's house, neighbor's house, to do certain assignments, because some of the assignments will not work on a laptop. Will not work on a mobile device. You need to have a laptop or a desktop. With Google Chrome, I kind of mentioned that already. It seems to work the best with Soar, but you can use any browser you want. But that's the one I recommend. The coding manuals, I recommend that you get actual physical copies. Again, the ones that are ebooks, they are fine. They look exactly like the actual hard copy, but it's easier to look up codes, to be able to go to the index, and then actually look at the notes that are in the codes and things like that if you have an actual coding manual. So that's why I recommend it. So again, make sure that you are managing your time. You can do this by scheduling a few times throughout the week to complete your assignments. It's easy to say I'll do it later, and later may never come, and then you feel overwhelmed because now you're behind and you're trying to catch up. So try and schedule a few times throughout the week to complete your assignments, even if it's just an hour. If that's all you got, an hour, I'm going to read this, or I'm going to do that. But try to plan out your week. Read your weekly announcements, and then also review your emails. Now, if there's any updates, or if there's something wrong with an assignment, things like that, sometimes I will put an announcement out. So that's why you want to make sure that you review your announcements. So the announcements, again, are on the home screen when you log in, and then you'll just click on announcements. So I have a few things out here, like access ebook, your career edge assignments, tips for doing SimChart if your class is doing SimChart right now. So I'll put different things out here. So come out and make sure that you are reviewing this. So for this particular class, MB 180, you're not going to use SimChart until around week 4, but still go ahead and set it up so that you'll be ready. If you're in one of the other courses, make sure that when you are accessing SimChart, that you access it through the class, because that class link is a special link just for that particular SimChart. So the link will look like this. It'll say SimChart for the medical office. You'll click on it, and so you notice that's a pop-up too. So if you have a pop-up blocker on, it won't open for you. So make sure that you use the link that's in the class, even if it's asking you for a course ID, things like that, it will not work. You have to use the link that's in the class. So you have to use, like, for example, this one is not until week 4. This link is not available until you get to week 4. So just wanted to let you guys know that because sometimes I get questions about that. Okay, so now I'm gonna open the floor up to see if you guys have any questions about anything that I went over so far. And then you always can email me or text me, and I'll answer any other questions that you guys may have. Maybe you can't think of anything now, but you may have a question later. You can always reach out, and I'll be more than happy to answer any emails or questions that you might have. But ask questions because this course and all of these courses are set up for on ground. So there are some things that might be slightly different that they haven't actually updated. So make sure that you reach out if you have questions. That's going to be really important. It'll save you some frustration if you just send a quick email or text if you have questions. Okay, well, that's all I have for right now. So I'm just going to stop the recording, but I'm going to hang around to see if you guys have any further questions. Thank you for joining. Have a great week.